video, I'm going to be sharing with you one of the best kept secrets in all of reselling. It's how American Eagle dresses like this that are selling for $6 can suddenly sell for $260. Or how a $7 Forever 21 sweater can suddenly sell for $150. And how a $4 Banana Republic tank top can sell for $80. It's not the photos, it's not even aesthetic based keywords. And I'm gonna be unveiling exactly what the difference is in this video. All right, this has been one of my favorite videos to put together so far for you. If you're new here to the channel, my name is Lee Meyer. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4, and I've made well over $100,000 as a part-time reseller, flipping used clothes and other items on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And now I'm on a mission to help at least 1,000 resellers be able to hit that $100,000 mark for themselves. So before we get started, I want to invite you to go ahead and check out down here in the description below this video all the free gifts I have for you. There are a ton of free goodies down there, including my best brands list, the list of 150 brands that have led me to that $100,000 mark and beyond. You'll also find a link to sign up for my free $100,000 reseller challenge. In this free challenge, I lay out exactly how to be able to hit $100,000 for yourself this year and how to do it in very part-time hours. In that free challenge, you're gonna discover the very best things to be selling right now. All right, so on to today's topic. The number one best kept secret in all of reselling. It's how items are selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. How even no-name brands are selling for ridiculous amounts. And what you're about to learn in this video is not only going to be able to help you to source items that you might otherwise pass over, but it's also going to help you to be able to get more money for your items. It can also open up a whole new world of sourcing opportunities for you from resellers who are not in the know, who have not listed or priced their items accordingly, and it gives you a chance to be able to source online, just like that $6 American Eagle dress, and then turn around and sell it for $200+. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I am so excited for this video. This is our first item, and as we're going through this, you're quickly going to see what the difference is between the items that only sell for a couple of dollars and the ones that are selling for substantially more. So the first item that we're gonna be looking at is a Banana Republic tank top, and everything that I'm going to be showing you are sold items. I did do all of this research on Poshmark. I'll explain a little bit more why as we get into this video. And so this Banana Republic tank top sold for $4. You can see it's got a little bit of a tulip hem there and color purple. This is one that I believe to be the same exact item. It's got that tulip hem on that, as well as that style of back. The color is a little bit different between those two pictures, but it could just be the camera, the lighting. You can see that that first one is not the greatest lighting, but the difference between that $4 price and that $80 price isn't necessarily the picture. You're going to see vice versa with this as well as we go through this video, but this one is actually because they used a really high ticket keyword here, Vampire Diaries. Now, it was worn by Elena Gilbert in Vampire Diaries, so they have that down there in the description of the item. And as a reminder, Poshmark does search the descriptions and it's going to pull up those listings. So if somebody were to look specifically for Elena Gilbert, it's going to bring this item up. So that is why this first item sold for $4 versus $80 for essentially the same exact item. This next one is an Old Navy flannel button-up shirt. It's gray and it's orange. Nothing extra special about this. This is an extra small. So again, that one sold for $8. Now we got another one here. This sold for another $50. $58 total was the sale price of this item. And the difference between these two, so I want you to notice the title here, Orange Navy, or Old Navy Orange Flannel. And then this one is the same, Old Navy, but then it has Taylor Swift inspired. So this was actually a very similar item, was worn by Taylor Swift, not made by Old Navy, but Old Navy has made an item that looks almost identical, and these are selling for a ton of money, but you have to know that right keyword of Taylor Swift. Otherwise, you're gonna get $8 for a flannel shirt, just like you would with probably any other Old Navy flannel shirt. So that one sold for $58. There's tons of these selling for 50, even 60, 70, $80. I did pull an extra small just so we're comparing, apples to apples, but there's tons of these selling. This is another example that's not quite the same, but it's that same color scheme. So for me, if I were listing this item, I would go ahead and use similar to Taylor Swift. Even in the description, that would probably, get more than $8 for that item just because it has a very similar look. Now, this next one is a Forever 21 cardigan. You can see it's got a chevron design on it. It's a little bit of an open knit. And so that one sold for $7. Now, I got the same exact item here. And comparing the pictures, this is a little bit better because it's more straight on. The lighting on it's not the greatest. This one's more at a diagonal. It's also, got a view of everything in the closet, which isn't the best. But because the seller added ASO, which stands for As Seen on Violet Harmon, and then in the description, As Seen on Violet on American Horror Story Murder House. This one, same exact thing, same exact sweater from Forever 21, sold for $150. So let me show you that one again, $7 versus $150. That's $143 difference for those of you doing the math, just from knowing that keyword to use. Now, not necessarily a style-based keyword. This is what I'm calling a pop culture keyword. I'm going to get more into that in this video. So this is another As Seen on Violet Harmon. This As Seen on is probably one of the best kept secrets when it comes to items that are selling for a lot of money. There's so many different TV shows, movies, celebrities, where these items are selling for hundreds and even into thousands of dollars. And there's a lot of sellers that really only sell As Seen on items. In this video, I'm going to be showing you more As Seen on items, but I'm also going to be showing you similar items and items that you're able to use the right keywords for and be able to get more money for your item. So this is, again, another As Seen on Violet Harmon. This is a Gap dress. Let me see if I can get a little bit better on that picture. So it's a button-up floral, looks blue. That one sold for $99. This is another As Seen on item from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. BTVS is the acronym there. And then that one sold for $120. As you're as we're going through this video, you're going to notice that a lot of these don't necessarily have a brand associated with the item. So if you're to go through the pictures, you're not going to see any brand label. They actually avoid taking pictures of the brand label. And a lot of times it is because it is a lower value brand, one that you wouldn't normally pay $120 for, like in this case. But people do pay this much because it was one of those As Seen on items. You can even see, in the description, they're not saying what the brand is. And this happens all the time where shoppers will come in and ask what the brand is. They just don't answer because they don't want that information out there. To be able to compete. This is another one where the seller actually did a really good job here of using aesthetic-based keywords. So they use boxy, Nordic, Scandinavian, Fair Isle. They're using all of the right aesthetic-based keywords. So I thought this was a really good example of, a seller that was genuinely doing a really good job. The pictures are good. That one sold for $30. Let me go ahead and show you that tag picture. So that is an express tag picture. It is 100% wool. So the seller is doing all of the right things. But now compare this. By the way, there's the keywords poster if you're looking for those aesthetics. Keywords like Scandinavian, Fair Isle, that'll be on that poster. But when the seller is in the know and knows that this is an As Seen on item from Monica on Friends, instead of just, what did that sell for? That sold for $30. Instead of $30, this sold for $160. And there's tons of them that are selling for this price. Again, they don't necessarily make the brand super easy to know. It's not just something that's usually easy to just go and look up those comps. And so this is another as seen on from Friends, and that one sold for $160. The coloring is actually a little bit different. The lace is a little bit different, but it's very, very similar. That's why this sold for $160. With this one, there's no brand available with this one. The sellers will actually hide the tags on those. This is one of the sellers among the stars, but there are several sellers out there who only sell these types of items, and they're making really good money, very profitable flips for these. This is another really popular show that a lot of items are selling from, Gilmore Girls. This is a chevron print dress. This is from BCBG. That one sold for $300. This is another chevron, and this is a Free People sweater. You can see here that it sold for $9. Again, they're using all the right keywords of stripe, pullover, chevron, maybe would have added in scoop neck there, but, overall a pretty good job of using, style-based keywords, pattern-based keywords, those keywords that you can visually see. But when the seller knew that this is another, as seen on item, that's the name of the actress. It's actually Rory Gilmore is the character from Gilmore Girls. That Free People suddenly sold for $45. This is another really good example that is not an as seen on item, but it is from a show. Inspired by a show. So this one is an example of a dress here that sold for $130. It's actually JCPenney brand. You can see the tag there, and they're using the keyword Regency core, and that's coming from the big push in our culture of the Bridgerton show. You're seeing that show up in various places. One of my favorite stores is Bath and Body Works. I've been seeing, scented candles, those types of things from the show. And so that one's, again, that one sold for, let's see, check the price, $130. This is a very similar one, not exactly the same, but it is from JCPenney. You can see the tag there. It says circa 1979. It's a vintage, item. It's that same kind of blue, and that one only sold for $20. Got another kind of similar one here. Again, it's from JCPenney's. There's the tag there. And again, this is a vintage item, a similar kind of style, similar color. And then that one sold for $29. But because the seller knew that that show is really popular right now, and in doing research of these Regency core, those keywords, Bridgerton, I actually found out from reading the description, maybe I'm just out of the loop, but from reading the description, there's a lot of parties, Bridgerton themed parties, where people will actually get dresses to be able to go to a party. They'll wear it once and then, come on Poshmark or eBay or wherever that is and sell the item, but you have to know the right keyword. This is another as seen on item. This is another really popular TV show / movie where the items are selling for a lot, and a lot of them are brands that don't normally sell for this much. So this is a Guess dress. That one sold for $150. Now you might think that it would be really easy to just, snap a picture of your item to be able to see, is this the right item? Or, is this an as seen on item? What movie is it from? So I have done a lot of playing around with this, but I did do a visual search on this item. So I grabbed that picture, and this is using Google Lens, and it pulled up similar dresses, but it's not even pulling up that listing on Poshmark. You can see that none of these dresses are the same. So let me quickly flip back to this. It's got that band there below the bust, a ribbon that ties. None of these similar items. So if you were to say, find this item at your local thrift store, go and take a picture of it to see, hey, is this an as seen on item? How do I know? You're not going to likely be able to pull that up even using something like Google Lens. Now, if you're wondering how you find these items and items out there that are movies out there that are popular, TV shows where people are looking for those as seen on items and even specific items to be on the lookout for, I have a brand new pop culture keyword guide. This dives deep into different celebrities, different TV shows, different movies. If you're like me and don't keep up with those things, It is really important if you are a clothing reseller. Pop culture has had a huge impact on fashion and what people are buying. So when you can understand this, it's going to help you be able to make more money. And as you've seen so far in this video, it also opens up a whole new opportunity for being able to source items for your business that people have just listed for the wrong prices online. I go in depth in the guide exactly what to be able to look for. I even break down if you should be looking for as seen on items, and this is all by TV show, by movie, by celebrity, and whether you should be looking for similar styles, just like that Bridgerton, those Bridgerton dresses that we just saw. This next item is a robe, and this is by a brand that is called Canyon Groups. I'm going to zoom in on the tag so you can get a good view of what that looks like. And this robe in particular has coffee mugs on it. Now there's multiple different styles of robes that are selling for a lot of money from this brand. But in particular for this video, we're going to be looking at just this coffee mug one. So this seller got $25 for their item. Now it does say that it's missing the tie around the waist. So that is one, small factor. But this one, on the other hand, this one sold for $1,500. It does say that it has 2 light spots. It does come with the tie though, so it does still have some flaws. Now I did look into this seller a little bit more clearly. They said that they bought some. She said actually here in the listing, she has 3 sons. She bought each of them one of these robes. And I found 2 on Poshmark from this seller. The pictures were different, so I do believe that they're 2 of the sons' robes that she turned around and sold for $1,500. I'm hoping that she paid not very much for these to gift them to 3 sons, and then made a lot of money off of them. So $1,500, which is just crazy. Not all of them are selling for that much, but there's a ton that are selling for that $200, $150 to $200 price range. This is a little bit different color. This is a white one, but it's got those coffee mugs on them. And with both of these listings, the one that sold for $1,500 as well as this $200 one, these were actually worn by Brad Pitt in Fight Club. So that is the difference between that first one that I showed you that only sold for $25. They had all the things. They had fuzzy, they had robe, they had coffee. I'm not seeing the brand here. Brand here in the description is right there. But they did not have Brad Pitt. They didn't have Fight Club. It says, here in the description, by Brad Pitt in the Fight Club movie. Because these sellers knew that, they were able to get, 10 times, way over what that other seller got, $25 for. This is another TV show where there's a lot of as seen on items selling. This is the show, The OC. And so this is a as seen on. This is another one that does not have a brand tag on it, or at least is shown. It's there, it's just not shown. But a striped halter, that one sold for $90. This is another really interesting one because this is from the brand Rue 21, which is a mall brand. If you're looking for other mall brands, make sure you check out the video up here where I go through all sorts of different mall brands to be on the lookout for. But you can see this is just a thermal knit. You can kind of see there on the picture. These are not the best pictures, but you can see that thermal knit. It's a V-neck. You can see that neckline there, long sleeve top. And then this seller, got $6 for their item. They're using thermal knit. They're using V-neck, which is great. But the sellers who know the right keyword to be using are getting substantially more. So $6 versus, $145. And there's tons of these selling for $100, $50, $80, $120. This, is a different color, but it doesn't even really matter the color. I'm actually going to show you here in a second some different colors that are also selling for a lot of money just using that keyword. So here is the as seen on picture. So this is Elena Gilbert from Vampire Diaries. That'll be in the description. Elena Gilbert is there in the title. That one sold for $145 because this seller knew. Now, this next one, this is where I said, hey, the color doesn't even really matter. And the print doesn't really even matter either. Because this, you can see the as seen on item's actually purple. And then the one that sold is actually a floral print. And that one sold for $80, even though it's not the same exact item and it's just similar, but they used the right keywords. They used Elena Gilbert, they used Vampire Diaries there in the description. This next item, I have a few of these to be able to show you. So this is actually Tommy Hilfiger. This one sold for $9. And with these are black, just a black dress with a white collar. So they got all of that there in the description. Another similar one there, black dress, white collar. That one sold for $10. Got another one there for $12. They've even got the stock photo, went through that effort. Another one here. This one, because they're using this keyword, a pop culture keyword, Wednesday Addams. This one sold for $65. This is from a really popular TV show right now, but because they used that keyword, that dress sold for substantially more. You can see there, $12. That's the same identical dress, $12 versus $65. This next one is an American Eagle dress. This is floral print. It's got some yellows, purples, greens in it. It looks like a wrap style, or at least a V-neck. There's what the tag looks like. Now, sadly, this seller did know that this was featured, and they even put it in the description, featured in the High School Musical movie, but they apparently did not go in depth enough with their keyword research and priced their item for $6. So that's a good reminder that pricing does come into play, because you could not just use the right words and then price your item for $6 and expect to get $200. So hopefully that makes sense, but that one went for $6. Here's another good example, the same identical dress. Now this seller, I have to give props to the effort with the photos. It does look kind of cute. They've got a necklace, the hat, the bag. There's the dress there hanging up, the same identical dress. And then that one sold for $10, even after all their effort to style that with their photos. Now here is that same dress. And there's, again, this isn't just one dress. There's multiple out there that are selling for, $100, $200. And this one sold for $200. Now that was a new without tags. So I want to show you another one that is in use condition. And that one actually sold for $260. It's also a size 0. So I want to point that out, because I know a lot of you ask about sizing, and does sizing matter? Yes and no. For things like this, it doesn't really matter. If it's a, quote unquote bad brand, then definitely I would recommend going with the bigger sizes. But for a lot of things, it does not necessarily matter. Now this next one, this one's kind of a cool sale that I wanted to show you, because this is a totally no-name brand. It says there on the tag, Pinky's Palace, but this is one where they actually use the keyword Mean Girls Cool Mom Regina, and that there's what that outfit looks like. So it's actually the jacket as well as the pants, and that one sold for $53. So by comparison, this isn't the same color. Wasn't able to find the same color, but this is that same brand, and it's just the jacket, not the pants. That one sold for $4. So just kind of a fun comparison. If you're looking for accountability in your reselling business, you're looking to have a community to help you succeed, I want to just let you know about the Empowered Reseller membership. I don't talk about it as much as I should, but it includes live trainings with me, Q&As, a chance for me to even be able to review your listings and give you my recommendations on how to be able to improve that. There is an entire course vault. So you will find in the description below this video actually the link to be able to access the membership. The next item that I have for you is another as seen on item. Like I mentioned, these can be some really good money. And this one is from Gilmore Girls. You can see it's a graphic tee with the dog there on the front. That one actually sold for $500 for basically a t-shirt. This one is from a brand that's called Earl Jeans, which is not, a good brand, by any means. It does not sell for $50, $100, it's more right around that $12 price range. Now this is a corduroy jacket. It's got that faux shearling lining on it. That one sold for $12. Now this is the same exact jacket, the same exact brand, but they went ahead and put as seen on and Gilmore Girls, and there are tons of these selling. So it's not just this one. It's not just a fluke. It's not, some random thing. But there's tons of these selling for right around that $400 price point for the same exact jacket. So let me show you between those two photos again. And it's even, the same color. It's a little bit darker there just because of the lighting, but that is the same exact jacket. $12 versus $400. This next one, this I could not find the exact same item, but I could almost guarantee that if this seller would have used another keyword, that they could have gotten more money for this item. So this is, faux fur coat in kind of a cow print. There's the tag there. And then that one sold for $40. So not too bad, but similar jackets were seen on Jennifer Aniston in Friends. So you can see as seen on Rachel Green, that was her character, Friends, Jen Aniston. They shortened that up, and that one sold for $300. So I would not be surprised just by adding similar to, and then, Friends as seen on, that seller could have likely gotten more money for their item. So again, $300 for that jacket. And Friends is one of those shows where there are so many as seen on items and even similar items that are selling for a lot of money just from using that keyword. Now, I mentioned about showing you these sold items on Poshmark, so I just want to quickly clarify that. As sold on items are selling on other platforms like eBay and Mercari, but by far the biggest platform where they're selling and selling for the most money is on Poshmark. So that's why this video I've specifically focused on Poshmark. This is another show where there's a lot of as seen on items selling for a lot of money, and that is from The Big Bang Theory. And so this is a halter dress. That one sold for $190, worn on Penny, the character. And then this is a pair of Lucky pants, sweatpants. That one sold for $168. This is really being spurred on. A lot of these TV shows are really being spurred on by that resurgence of Y2K era items. I do have a video up here with more Y2K items, so I will link to that up here for you. And then this Big Bang Theory as seen on item sold for $150. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did putting it together for you. And if you haven't yet signed up for that free $100,000 reseller challenge, you're going to want to make sure to do that now. I know that $100,000 is totally attainable for you, even if you've got a full-time job. So again, the link to sign up for that free challenge is down there in the description below this video. If you're looking for more items that most other resellers are passing by that are extremely profitable, you're going to want to make sure that you check out this video I will link to up here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you in the next video soon.